How's it going, Nick? Casey, how are you? Rick,
Pretty
how's it
good,
going,
Ryan.
everybody?
Thanks for getting this. Thanks for organizing this.
Absolutely. So one of the things I thought would be cool is to think about in tandem how we're becoming better, more comprehensive planners, providing more value to clients, and how do we also use marketing to apply that value online so that the same people, obviously, that you're working with, you can start to attract through marketing. And that's the idea where I think they can kind of work in tandem that I wanted to go over today. And talk about how I feel like better processes, the more comprehensive you are, the better you are at taxes, the better you are at, insurance, retirement planning, estate planning, all of it. It just gives you more ammo to be able to present that value online, talk about different topics as well. Anybody in here pretty active in terms of, I know Nick well in terms, but Casey, how active are you in terms of marketing?
That's a good question. It probably depends on the day. We've got like a handful of things that we do kind of as a firm, and then I've got a handful of things that I do as individually. So, yeah, I know my thing that I struggle with is, we come up with really, really good ideas, and then it's sticking with it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes things they work so well that you stop doing it.
That's a really good point. Or it works so well, you think if I could just change this, maybe it could work even better or something else, or maybe it'll keep working even if I change it. I do feel that way. That happens a lot. And that is an interesting side to consistency, is to decide, when do I make the change? How do I adjust? Is this message getting old? What do you think stops you from continuing?
I know personally, it's probably shiny object syndrome and time. That realistically is the main things that I would say.
And do you have a team helping you, or are you pretty much doing the marketing yourself?
We've got an in-house person. So
Okay.
we have a marketing coordinator, I think is technically what her title or what her role is. The challenge we run into is that even though that's technically her role, is she gets involved over in a lot of other stuff too. So the main thing sometimes doesn't necessarily always stay the main thing.
Yeah, like she's the utility knife of the office, where it's like she'll do marketing if she has time to do marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's certain baseline things that we have over into place, and we're pretty consistent on that. But it's the extra stuff, or the next layer, taking it to the next level, that I'd say that, at least from my standpoint, I probably struggle with a little bit more than anything.
How do you stay so consistent, Nick?
I don't know. I enjoy it. At this point, I have probably over 200 graphics that have been drawn, or infographics, and I probably have 100 plus videos. So, I can repurpose something that, even though I've seen it 3 or 4 times, the vast majority of other people have never seen it. So just having that database, helps when you're not feeling overly creative.
And I noticed you trying some new things too in terms of video, and you try different colors, or had like a chalkboard look for a little while.
Innovator die.
How do you feel that, I guess, that has worked? And did you end up do you feel back to the way you used to do it? Did you feel like you picked up anything from trying new?
I don't know. I think it's always good to like mix it up to where you don't just have like one look all the time. And there was a phase where like everybody started drawing.
Yeah.
And so I got away from that a little bit, because it kind of got, I think, lost in the noise of everybody else drawing, and mixed in some video or creating some graphics on Canva. I kind of personally like the way this stuff looks on Canva a little bit better, just because I think I can make it cleaner than my own writing. Some people like more of the custom look of my own writing. So I don't know, I mix it up. It's probably head trash, but I like to do different things, partially so I don't get bored with it.
Sure.
So Nick, I got actually a follow-up question over on that, because I've kind of watched all your stuff a little bit over on like LinkedIn and some of those other things too. Do you think that part of that is, over on your side, what it looks like to me, and this is more of an observation probably than anything else, is I've noticed that you do some things where it looks like you're trying out some new things and all that, and then other people emulate it, not copy it, exactly. But do you think is that part of your process over on your side that you're looking over when you start to see that, that noise as you kind of described it over on there? Is that when you're starting to looking at trying to innovate to the next thing?
And Nick, real quick, you had somebody actually straight copy, like steal something, right? Didn't you at one point?
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times where people have literally like copied and pasted and just like redacted my name and wrote their name in the corner, which I mean,
It's good
whatever. Whatever.
Good content. You got to do what you got to do.
The reality of it is
not right.
if I'm trying to serve high level sales executives, they're probably not connected to 100 financial planners. So even though I'm seeing the other stuff in the feed because I'm connected to so many other financial planners, they're probably not. So I think more so than anything, I get bored with doing a certain style for a long time, and then I'll switch it up. But we see all the stuff that other financial advisors and stuff are doing. I doubt the average person on LinkedIn is.
And you create all your own stuff, correct, Nick? In terms of Canva, videos, right? You're doing it all.
I do. Yeah, I'm a control freak, Ryan.
Oh, okay, good. But do you like? I know you like probably. I would imagine the Canva as it's more of the drawings. But how about editing videos? Is that painful or something you just get through, or have you started enjoying that as well?
I enjoy it because I make it simple. I mean, I know that I'm not, Keith, it's not going to look beautifully produced or anything like that. Most of my videos are short, anywhere between a minute and 3 minutes. And so generally it's 1 or 2 takes, and then I'll, it might be a little bit of brief editing that I do. I've found that Descript is what works best for me. It's $10 a month and it doesn't blow up my computer like the Adobe products do, like Premium Rush. Like you'd have to have almost like a separate computer for that. So Descript is easy for me, like it automatically transcribes the video. So that is really nice that I could just like copy and paste that, and I'd have the kind of blog content for it for the most part as a starting point. But I just try to keep things really, really simple because I can't afford to lose 2 or 3 hours editing a video, like some people do. I don't have that level of love like a Keith would, where it's a passion project where he'll put 20 hours into a video.
Sure, absolutely. There's just as much in it for him as the audience, I feel.
Oh, absolutely.
He enjoys that so much.
Yeah. I'm not passionate about that, but I know that it's important. And I think the reason that we all do marketing is to give people out there an opportunity to fall in love with us and differentiate us from the sea of sameness. If you don't put yourself out there, I mean, how do you give people a chance to, fall in love with you and for them to say like, yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah. True. Casey, what does your setup look like in terms of when you're creating content? Are you sitting down and making videos? Are you sitting down and writing? Obviously, you're a marketing coordinator. When she has time, is getting involved. What will she be doing for you?
Yeah, my preferred method personally is video, and it's mostly along the line of I can pick out a topic and just talk about it, right? And I've kind of played with a couple of different things where doing it more long form versus doing maybe more short form. But I typically will try to have her, like, I'll produce some sort of a piece of content and then I'll have her clean it up, because my creativity is not on the graphic design and the making it shiny. Like I'll literally send her a clip and say, here you go, make it shiny, like make it look better. Because I can't. My wife described my style. She told a friend of hers that I like sans serif font. Now I don't know what that means actually, but apparently they thought it was funny. So, but yeah, it's more probably video, I'd say, more than anything else. But I think there's probably a couple of other pieces over on that. Probably the written stuff that I have produced before in the past is probably actually cleaner. It's probably better, well put together, more thought through, because I've actually gone down and actually done it, as far as running through the numbers and that kind of thing, rather than just riffing straight off the brain. Video usually goes a bit quicker. And that's why I probably prefer that more so than anything else.
Yeah, I like video as long as I can do it in one shot, and then I'm cutting off the front and the back. That's me cleaning it up.
That's
And
me too, Ryan.
yeah, and that's how I feel like I streamline content. If I ever do a video, it's got to be like that. I'm never cutting the middle. So if I said something bad in the middle, I just redo it. And I will say it can take me too long to do a video sometimes, but it's never as long as it would take me to edit, I feel, if I'm cutting out those little spacings and things like that. So for me, it's writing. And if I'm doing video, it has to be in one shot or going live and stuff like this. You know, that's what I'll do this the most, because I can just get on here and start talking and there's nothing after. It's like whatever happened here happened and it's done. And then I just feel like I have to perform for a little bit and then I can go. So I think everybody does essentially find like their whatever they can do quickly. And that's probably going to be something you enjoy, but it also depends on your skills. Like not many people can sit down and probably write a picture or draw a picture like Nick can, in terms of making sure he gets that thought from content, in terms of the value that comes from the client to pulling it out and translating it to everybody else. So it's a mixture of being creative, but also listening to yourself and kind of just doing what works. What about you, Rick? Do you do any marketing?
Yeah, we're my little solo firm is recalibrating for the fourth quarter. So I hired a marketing person. I outsource everything, so I don't have anything in house. So I don't have any employees or just a virtual assistant, and I don't have any marketing director. Well, she is now, but she's outsourced, and she also handles my website. So we're revising that. We're doing some really cool stuff, I think, and so we're going to be adding really short snippets of videos that are going to be 30 seconds to a minute, so I can get more topics in. But I want to make the topics sound like you really need to basically get a hold of me if you want to learn more. Instead of giving out all the information in one video, it's gonna come out basically. God, I'd like to hear more about that. Not that it's kind of going to be a little teaser, but with enough information to make you think about it a little bit for because I deal with doctors and dentists and small business owners here in Sarasota, Florida. So it's hopefully it's going to be a little different. We want to make it a little different. Yeah,
Rick, real quick,
Yes.
I was going to say, and I'll just try to be brief. I want to stay on mute. So in the group, I mean, to the extent you feel comfortable, there's a couple of people. Can you hear me or not?
No, I can't. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a couple of people who are building websites, doing rebranding and doing things. Please leverage the group to share ideas or throw stuff out. We could do that inside of this marketing space in Circle. We could create another unique space. At some point, there's a few groups on Circle I've seen where they'll have like a green room where people can test videos and do things. So anyway, to the extent you feel comfortable, if you want to test stuff out, throw it out. There's obviously everybody keeps talking about Nick and his prowess. He does have some, there's some great people in here that can share ideas and collaborate. It'll help everybody get better. So please use the group.
Right. Yeah, that's one video thing we're not going to do is be sitting in the front seat of a car like I see on LinkedIn quite a bit. So we're going to do it in the trunk of the car. We're going to go back and I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing there. I just want to see if I can get Nick to laugh. I can't make him laugh here.
That has a real Pulp Fiction vibe to it. I feel that whole like shooting from the trunk of a
Yeah, as long as I don't have a gun in the back seat that automatically or accidentally goes off and shoots the guy that's driving a car.
Oh, Florida, you got a gun in the front seat and the back seat, right?
Well, normally, yes. In Florida, we're pretty open state down here. That's for sure.
Rick, how are you currently bringing in clients today, other than client referrals, COI stuff? How are you going?
I don't. Well, my process is I used to be in the old days because I've been doing this so long. For me, it's we used to sit down and go through the whole referral session with a client. I don't do that anymore. I had one of my doctor clients a while back come up and say, "Look, I'm gonna don't ask me for, we weren't even talking about referrals, but he came out and kind of made a suggestion. Don't ask me for referrals. I'll refer you when I'm with my my peers or my friends. But I want you working for me. So he was more concerned that I would be not putting in the time with him and trying to go out and get new business. I only have 60 clients, so my practice is pretty small. So the max I can handle is 70. So what I'm doing right now is coming off LinkedIn. So we're really putting a whole program together. I wrote a forward for a book for a doctor, and so we're gonna. That just kind of got released in the forward and everything. We've got the digital book now, and we have a teaser chapter or two that we're going to send out to. I'm linked LinkedIn. It's amazing with LinkedIn, right? Because everybody you don't know links in with you, and you're going, who are these people? So we're going to go back and reintroduce ourselves, try to build a relationship off of LinkedIn, and then send them this teaser first chapter or so, or I think it's 2 chapters if I'm not mistaken, and then just kind of go from there and try to build a relationship. So most of my doctor or dentist clients are coming off of LinkedIn, quite frankly. On occasion, a doctor will call me up and say, hey, by the way, I want you to talk to Nick, and he's a neurologist, and he's gonna give you a call, but if not, just here's his number, here's his private email. He knows that you will probably utilize it and get a hold of him before you, or something like that. So it's going to be that way. And then we're going to repurpose some of the blog articles, and the blog articles are also going to be short and sweet. I'm not doing these long suckers anymore, like, part 1, part 2, part 3. That's all going away. So we're going to make it short and sweet versus like some of the other ones I've been reading that get a little lengthy.
Yeah, I give you a lot of credit. I like how you're using the featured section on your LinkedIn profile. Almost nobody does that. So
Yeah.
kudos.
And plus we're
kudos on that.
revising that. The web designer, she's pretty sharp. She's going to do all this kind of stuff for me. So we're going to redo the LinkedIn thing. We're going to, because some of the things are in the wrong place. So she's going to redo all that. And Facebook, I'm not really worried about the Facebook business. Quite frankly, Facebook kind of has you, if you're in a solo, I don't know about, obviously companies this doesn't work for, but if you're solo with a Facebook corporate page like I have, and my individual page, if you cancel the corporate page, it cancels your individual page, and vice versa. So if you cancel the individual page, it cancels the corporate page. I can't get around that unless one of you guys knows how to do that, but it's bizarre. I went in there just to try to shut down my corporate page, because really nobody goes there. So and it said, well, you're going to be shutting down everything. I go, oh, okay. Not that I use my personal Facebook page much, but so unless there's a way to do that I'm not aware of. But anyway, for what it's worth.
It's a great question. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that question.
By the way, Ryan, I'd be showing myself, but I got in from a long power walk down here with about 85% humidity. I don't think you want to see my shirt, my face, well, you don't want to see my face for sure. So that's why I'm not on live, so I don't embarrass you or myself.
No problem.
There's some follow-up things I'm going to put out, and Rick, like I was saying, this goes for anybody, put stuff up in the group, we can share or whatever. But if you want to just throw that up in the group as a quick question to see if anybody knows, because somebody in the group might know on Facebook. Just
Rick,
there's a way to do that.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. So again, Facebook's not a major play. I mean, even my daughter, who's she's a lot of the kids I've been talking to, especially the millennials lately, have kind of been turned off a little bit by Facebook. So I don't even know how long I'll be on there myself. I don't use it that often. If I go on it once a week, I'm lucky. And then that was from a month ago. I hope they see it. I mean, it's just something I'm not on every day. It's not.
Hey, Rick, quick question for you. Are you flat fee only? I see this really nice written short article on your website, why a flat annual retainer fee?
Yes. Yeah, for our clients, for my top clients, and you got to be careful, because since I'm under the SEC with my RIA, there are clients that come in, such as young doctors or dentists that come in, and you can't just go out because my minimum flat annual retainers starts at 10 grand per year. And then I lock you into a two-year contract. So for 2 years, you're locked into 10 grand a year, no matter what happens. You can win the lotto, whatever. And then we sit down and renegotiate after that. But with that, since you can't charge 3% or more by the SEC rules, you don't want to, it's hard for me to go in and charge 10,000 to a, let's say a doc coming over and joining a practice that's only, 30 years old and has $40,000 in RA. So there we go, asset under management fee for that until they get up to around $500,000. That's a break point for us.
If I mean, to get, you said you have 60 clients, you want 70. I think the easiest way to get 10 ideal clients would be to market kind of like a Venn diagram, the fact that you have this flat fee for medical professionals, dentists.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
And overlay that. Here's the difference, I think, though, from you and from everybody else I've seen. I would overlay that with the fact that you also have 30 years experience of serving dentists and medical professionals, because everybody else that is touting flat fee looks like they're 21 years old.
Right.
So to me, that is like the huge marketing opportunity for you, to where you would be overwhelmed with inbound leads and you can choose the next 10 people that you want, or get rid of your bottom 10 and take in 20 ideal clients.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. And since I'm a member of some medical and dental groups, that's another way to do it too, I think. Because they have the different areas where I can get in on their conversations like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Because
so much experience. You must have so many pain points of the individuals that you're working with and know the ups and downs of what they go through. And that's something that, whether it be short and sweet or long form, I think if you can pull some of that out and be posting clips on that.
That's great.
Do you do anything also to market to your current clients that you have right now, whether an email newsletter or?
Well, they get hit quite a bit, Ryan, during the year with some really good educational information. But I really, it's not that I don't need to do it. My average client, and I've got some millennials in there, but I've got some older clients, obviously. My average client's been with me over 20 something years. So for me to market to them, I mean, it's as long as I'm staying in touch and we're meeting and doing some interesting stuff. And John, if he can, if he can remember to go through those profiles for me, I'm just kidding him. But he's going to go through one of my.
I had it up on my computer. I was thinking about that.
He's going to go through one of my, it's my major discovery process, which is behavioral DNA. And financial DNA was developed about 21 years ago with Hugh Massey out of Atlanta, Georgia. So we've been using this way before behavioral finance became two words put together. So we've been doing it a long time, and it's a wonderful discovery process. So John's going to find out here once he completes the 4 profiles for me.
And again, I want to get to that because, again, I keep saying this, but that's another thing to share with the group, right? Because I think others can learn from that. And I mean, I don't know. Yesterday, this came up just real quick. If you saw Brad Connors sharing his technology the other day, a couple people followed up from that, and they're like, "Hey, I don't know that I'm going to use it, but I learned some good things. I'm going to take little pieces." Anyway, so please keep, sharing, again, marketing or other things so that, it helps you hone and get better, get ideas from others, but it's going to help the rest of the group too.
Right. So no, those are great ideas. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
And we're going to get Nick to get an OBA so he can draw your Venn diagram.
You were reading my mind. I thought since Nick is looking at my site, he could just put this together for me probably in about 10 seconds and just send it to me. And that would be wonderful. And I'll just send him whatever he likes to consume in beverages or something else.
Yes, send me your hex codes and I'll draw up a diagram for you. I mean, I think you have a niche, you have an experience, and you have a differentiated fee model. I mean, I think this would be very, very easy marketing win to bring on new people. Most people don't have those 3. Some people have 2 out of 3. Most advisors have 0 out of 3. Gentlemen, I gotta head out. I got a 10 o'clock call. I apologize. Great to see everyone.
Thanks for jumping
Great.
in.
Weekend.
Thank you for your
Appreciate it,
input.
Nick.
I appreciate your input.
You got it. Take care, guys.
See ya.
Thanks.
Hey, Nick, good to meet you.
Trust and will. I just saw that on your shirt.
Yeah. It's the other
That's
company
his
I
subtle
work for.
advertising.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it was a pickup line at a bar. Please trust me and things will happen.
Exactly. No, that's exactly how it works. Any way to make a sale, right? No, it's an online estate planning platform
Yeah.
for that does like simpler clients, more straightforward clients.
Yeah. I'm looking at vanilla.
Yeah. They do, as far as I know, I don't know actually what they do in terms of simplicity. I know they're trying to get to ultra wealthy and do like more complex estate planning. So, and I don't know who you're dealing with in terms of what the average AUM is, but we're better for under 5 million. I usually found them better for above 5 million. But let me know.
Actually,
Let me know what you
Vanilla's
think.
Ryan, Vanilla's actually working with just about everybody. I mean, it's
Okay.
really just putting an attorney, kind of coming back and having their attorneys look at it and taking it back to the local attorney. So they're not replacing the attorney. They're just coming back with ideas and things of this nature and putting it all together and giving you something where they can update it and then take it back to that
Gotcha.
attorney to say, oh, wow, yeah, you've been, so it makes me look like, not that I'm practicing law, because obviously, you don't want to do that, but to go back to the attorney and sit down and kind of discuss all this kind of stuff. So they have kind of a unique system, but ultra net worth they like to work with. But then again, how many of those clients do you have? I mean, I have one, and that's one this is my 38th year of business. So I have one that I've had. We call them elephants down here, but
Okay.
it's hard to get those guys or gals, or
I agree.
he or she or them or they or whatever we're called now today.
I agree.
So,
And
Rick,
yeah. Go ahead.
Rick, are you broker's license as well? Or is it
No,
only
I
through
gave
the
up.
RIA?
No, since I had my own RIA. Now I'm with a company called Creative One Wealth, and they're out in Kansas, right? So it used to be Change Path, and they bought my old RIA after I shut down my RIA. No, I gave up my license because I don't need them. The only license I keep is insurances, because I do implement. So from that standpoint, I don't need the series 7, 6, 22, 24, whatever. I don't need it to do anything on TD. I can purchase, trade. I can do all that kind of stuff through my RIA.
Gotcha.
So it's great.
No, I was curious because your thing that you were talking about over on that side, like we're with LPL, and their financial planning group has, they're actually legal group. It's the best kept secret at LPL because there's like 5 attorneys on staff that nobody knows about, and the only thing they do is they do exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's the broker dealer that I was with last, and that was a long time ago. But they still had him online. They still had him on staff. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're right on. Spot on.
Yeah,
It is helpful to have support. Nothing worse than being by
it's one
yourself
of those
and having
things
to, like,
that
hunt around LinkedIn for a friend, when you really need an answer.
Well, the other thing is, Ryan, my office is in my house. So because when I had my partner, which I'm looking for another one, that's another thing I'm going to let John know. I'll probably put that on the site, but because I need a succession plan, that's my biggest problem, or my biggest challenge right now. I have a lot of problems personally, but that's my biggest challenge in business. But the point is that, yeah, it's when we started, Jerry and I started a long time ago with doctors and dentists. They didn't have the time to come down to not that Sarasota's big, but to come down to our downtown office. So we just said, look, we're coming to you. And we have done this with all our clients because we couldn't understand, like, let's take an attorney as an example, since we were just talking about them. The building that we were in housed about 91 attorneys. I mean, it was unbelievable. And anyway, we would see these older people come in, I want to say in their 80s, high 80s and stuff, walking around trying to find this attorneys. And I'm just sitting there going, why wouldn't, it kind of gave us the idea, why wouldn't the attorney go see them when they're that kind of age? And we just said, why don't we just do this for everybody instead of having the client come in and take up all their time? Yes, we offered free parking, all that was in the building, but they still got to come down and come away from their practice, whatever it may be. So with my clients, and Jerry's is still working, and we split up, but the point is, we go to them and it just works out well. And I really didn't need an office downtown. So I just came home and my whole system is right here. And I outsource a lot. My portfolio management for investments, the whole bit, it's all outsourced. So I don't have to worry about a lot of, that's why I outsource the marketing. I've got a graphic artist, all this kind of stuff. I have a network of attorneys, network CPAs. I don't want to bring a CPA on because that's going to alienate the rest of the CPAs. And once in a while, I do get referrals from them. Estate planning attorneys, forget it. It's not, normally they're coming to you because the current advisor is probably not doing their job and they want somebody to evaluate insurances or anything else. So, but that's, I'm sorry, I kind of went on a Dennis Miller little rant there. I did.
No, it's fine. Hey, I want to end this with kind of a marketing thought that kind of led me to this title and what I've been thinking about recently. And that's that when people are scrolling through, I think a lot of times as advisors, we really want to produce like facts and solutions to things. But I find that most people are always thinking about their own problems. And the reason I'm also thinking about this is because we had Daniel Crosby on actually the Trust and Will monthly webinars. And one of the things he was saying is that when people are having trouble with, volatile markets, the first thing you do is normalize the situation by understanding that it is a stressful thing rather than just jumping to solutions or start talking about, the S&P 500 and how it recovers over the next couple of years. You just take a few minutes to kind of acknowledge somebody's problem. So one of the things that I would stress is whether you're thinking short or long form, really think back to your client conversations. What are some common questions that clients keep asking you? What are common problems that they keep bringing up to you? And how can you display that story online, whether it be in a blog, whether it be in a video? So you're in a video, you can tie that story into a case study, or that can be a blog that also becomes a video, or it can be a social media post. But always try to list in maybe even 5 common or their top 3 questions that you get. If you're working with the same type of client, you'll probably get very common answers. And those are stories that can become pillars of content, things you can reuse over and over again to keep saying. So always think about somebody's problems as a way to grab their attention. And then the solution can always be in the content towards the end of the video. Just make sure you're acknowledging the problem first when you're doing that.
Great thought. Great thought. By the way, can I ask you a quick question? Is that the
Sure.
name of the company, Trust and Will?
Yes,
Is it trustandwill.com?
correct.
Okay, great.
And
I just want to
AMD.
check them out.
Yeah, please do. It's different than vanilla now that you described it to me. So we just do different things. I don't even know if it's as comparable as I thought it was. We actually do document creation.
Yeah, there you go.
So okay, so it's
Yeah,
it
they
sounds,
do
sounds
that.
different.
Yeah, I've got to get, I had a little spiel from them and they made it sound really, really wonderful. But you never know until you start, having because the client never meets with them. I'm assuming does my client ever meet with Will and Trust, or no? It's just an interaction between Will and Trust and me, or Trust and Will, excuse me.
It actually, ours is client driven. So
Okay,
your
I
client
got
would
you.
be working directly with us. You can
I
obviously
got
be
you.
involved, but they would have people they can talk to. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, that may be and I may have misunderstood vanilla. So I haven't talked to them now for almost a year
Okay.
because I had too many other things going on. So it's that wasn't my top priority with them. But
Oh, you're busy. It's cool.
well, it's not so
Um,
much busy. It's just I just try to prioritize and that because everybody's pretty well set up. But I like the concept. I really like the concept. So I want to take a look at them
Sure.
for you or whomever.
Anything else? Anything to end with? Any thoughts? Any questions, Casey, before we head out that you think would help, guide you as you're getting back to your consistency in marketing?
No, I think this is a good start. I mean, it just confirms everything that I already knew, right? Which is do it.
It's annoying, right? It's just doing the work, like always, doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, like you want to get in shape.
But
Yeah.
find a way to do, I think one of my big takeaways, I'll try to send those out, but it's do something you like that coffee with Casey or whatever, right? And make it, like we talked about it, not everybody's going to watch you talk for an hour, but you might be able to find little clips in or something. Like Nick likes to draw, and he was saying Keith Wilson likes to edit. Like if it's,
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I was going to use Cooper as an example, right? He wants to be a good golfer. You got to love to do it. It's not, so you got to find your passion, right, Casey? And like, I don't know. I loved when you were doing that. Casey was doing this like coffee thing where he just would share ideas. I thought it was a great way to stay in touch with current clients and then, potential prospects too.
Yeah, something simple, something consistent. You'd be surprised how comforting it makes. When I learned about branding also, is just to end it with this, I would have, I never post on Instagram, but one of the things I post on my story is when I'm walking into my gym. I do jujitsu. So for some reason, I posted the floor of my feet walking in the gym. Somebody like made a joke about it. So I started doing it every time I went in. And now there's not that it's closer friends and things like that, but there's probably 60 people who are always watching my story, and whether they make comments on it, but especially when I go in, if I don't do it, somebody like mentions it to me and they're like, it was really weird to see you in here, but not see your story of you like walking in the gym. It's just something that I'm used to seeing. Something so simple that I never even thought of, but just became a little weird theme. So it's really not about overthinking it as much as about doing it a lot, and you'd be surprised what works.
Super quick. I was just saying, Eric Boyum posted last week timeout trivia. If you saw his thing, he's known as the timeout trivia guy around town. Like people are like, oh, timeout trivia guy. So anyway, I love that, Ryan. That's super cool.
Interesting stuff. Okay, so hey, appreciate you guys being here. We'll do this every month and I'll come up with different topics. I think next time we'll talk about possibly how to get into creating some content, whether somebody really wants to, Jared Russ is coming in. In terms of actually creating content, whether we're getting into videos or ideas or wherever that goes, try to get more granular. Because I think it's great to be high level and have this accountability, but I think it really helps to think about like, what can we do to actually get stuff done today? Can we sit here in 30 minutes and maybe even next time we just say, let's everybody try to create a piece of content right now and see how that goes. Let's record a video, let's make a post and then post it. And then let's talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
And
Great
again,
idea.
it's an ongoing thing, right? Right now, it's not too busy in the group, throw stuff in the open forum, but we do have this dedicated marketing space in the group. Just like keep the conversation going in there. And then we, come to these meetings. Ryan, that'll help. I know you have a ton of ideas, Ryan, but that'll help feed, as it goes forward.
Hey, John, is your car moved at all?
No, I drop Cooper off.